Hi, my name is Carissa Lowe. I'm currently a sophomore at Sam Houston State University in the education program. This is my teacher preparation admissions interview. So, the first question is, in your own schooling, did you have a subject area, task, or assignment where you struggled? How did you solve it? How would you use this experience to guide you in helping your future students? So, I personally did not have an area that I struggled with in school. I was very fortunate in this aspect. I was actually in the GT program in elementary school. But, however, my junior and senior year, I was a teaching aide through the Ready, Set, Teach program at my high school, and I taught a first grade class. And through those experiences, I was able to see the different struggles that children have, whether it be completely excelling and finding tasks to be remedial and losing interest, or being below level and struggling to understand the bare minimum. While doing this, I also learned how to teach a lesson that caters to both levels at the same time. I know what I need to do. So the second question is, tell about a teacher who impacted your education either negatively or positively. How will this experience impact your teaching in the future? So my greatest teacher actually was never my teacher at all. Her name is Miss Archer, and she was my mentor teacher. She never schooled me through elementary school, but she was my mentor teacher my senior and junior years of high school. And that's the classroom that I got to learn all the experiences that I previously talked about in the last question. And I definitely learned the aspects of how to key into those concepts with kids and how important it is for teachers to be passionate for what they're doing and not just choosing it as a life choice that's better for them, but the passion of teaching, it's born in you. And I definitely picked that all up from Miss Archer. She also had a huge impact on me my senior year and always pushed me to do things that I never thought I could do, like coming to Sam Houston. I never imagined that I'd be able to afford it or do it, and she pushed me through scholarship after scholarship and pageant after pageant, and I couldn't have done it without her. So she is definitely the teacher that impacted my education the most. I know what an awesome teacher looks like because of her, and I hope to be able to model myself just like her and teach for as long as she's taught and still find the joy in teaching day in and day out, just like she does. The third question is, what strengths do you possess that will make you suitable to become an effective educator? And what weaknesses do you think you have, and how will you address these throughout your teaching career? I was actually asked almost this exact same question when I was competing in TAFE. So one of my greatest strengths is I'm extremely creative, extremely organized, and extremely passionate. That's actually 3, not 1, but those are my 3 biggest things. I believe an organized classroom is a happy classroom. If you can always find the things you need, you save time in your lessons. If you know where everything's at, you're not scrambling. So that's one thing. I'm also, like I said, very passionate for teaching. I've wanted to be a teacher since I was probably in 1st or 2nd grade myself. I've always known it was my calling. And through the education program at Sam Houston and through high school with the Ready, Set, Teach program, I've found that it really and truly is my passion, like 100%. And also it says, what are your weaknesses? I would say that my greatest weakness, and it has its pros and cons, but my greatest weakness is I care too much at times about things that aren't our jobs as teachers. I say that lightly. I've seen personally the students that are struggling at home, whether it be financially or with their parents or with their family, things like that, and I constantly want to help. Perfect example, when I was teaching, there was a little boy in Miss Archer's class that wore shoes that were 3 sizes too big on him. 3 sizes, they were huge. They would flop on his feet, and I'd see him wear them to recess, wear them to PE, and it was sad to me because I asked Miss Archer, and she said, well, those are his older brother's shoes, and so he gets his older brother's shoes passed down to him, whether they fit him or not. And for me, it wasn't just this poor kid, he doesn't have enough money. It was, he could fall down and break an ankle. They're huge. He can't run. He can't play. It's dangerous. It's, there was so much more to it than just he doesn't have shoes, So when Christmas was coming around, we did a Secret Santa in the classroom, and I asked Miss Archer if I could have him as my Secret Santa so that I could get him some new shoes. And she got tears in her eyes when I asked her this, but she told me, unfortunately, no, that she couldn't do that because she knew his parents from teacher-parent interviews and things of that nature, and she knew that his parents wouldn't take it nicely as a gift. They would take it as calling them out that they can't provide for their own child. So I would say my greatest weakness is that I don't know where to draw that line of being someone's teacher, or teacher and provider at school and teacher and provider at home. And so I feel it'll be very important for me to learn my boundaries of that as I become an educator and as I get farther in the program, and learning what's okay and what's not okay to provide for the kids in your classroom. So the last question, question number 4, is explain what your relationship as a teacher should look like with your students outside of your classroom as well as on social media. So I 100% believe that you should not have your students on social media whatsoever. I even question having their parents on social media, just because your personal life and their personal life shouldn't really mix. Now, coming from a small town, I know so many people that were have my parents on social media, but it was way before they were my teacher. It's like, oh hey, like I went to high school with your mom type thing. I feel like that's a different situation, but personally you should have no kind of relationship like that with your students or with your students' parents if there wasn't some kind of previous experience with them that related outside of you being their child's teacher. And as far as outside of school or outside of the classroom, I believe you should just be, the same way that you act in the classroom is the same way you should portray yourself outside the classroom to them. You should just be that positive, impactful role model without overstepping the boundaries of a provider, like I've got to learn how to do. But I definitely 100% believe that the social media is a no-no, phone number, no-no. Any kind of outside relationship is a major no-no. That should not happen. So, to wrap it up, I thank you in advance for considering me as an applicant into the College of Education and into the program, and I appreciate being at Sam Houston. Thank you.